And before I get this video started, just want to tell you, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help, boost the reel up in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Help get our message out there. But let's talk about it, man. I want to talk about this viral picture that's, being shared all through social media. The couple, two young folks at their prom. Apparently, well, I'll tell you what was in the picture. She's holding guns. They both holding guns. Now, they doing some crazy stuff. So they're pointing it at the camera and, all that different stuff, man. You know how it should be. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't recommend it, but it is what it is. Now, apparently, she's been kicked out of school. Well, she was supposed to be graduating, and now she won't be. She's expelled. That's the alleged story. Now, I haven't confirmed or anything. This is all basically going to go off of the response that people gave to this news. Now, is it true? Is different things like that? A lot of stuff gets shared on social media. A lot of times it's not even true, but we'll just go in the sense we'll go with it being true. She also apparently lost her scholarship to her school that she was supposed to be going to. Right? I talked about this in the Antonio Brown video. I talked about how, the image that you put out there, it means something. People talking about they don't care how they're portrayed or what people think about them and stuff like that. And these are young folks. Now, I hope, in the sense that this story is true, I hope that they're able to, at least, try to accept her back in, let her walk the stage, understand that she made a mistake. I don't know if there's anything else behind it or anything, who knows, but if it's possible, if she's able to, walk the stage and be able to get what she's, striving for, be able to get, go to school or whatnot. But like I spoke about in an Antonio Brown video, when you're trying to be accepted into somebody else's stuff, the optics mean everything. What other people think means everything. Now, if you got your own stuff going on, then you won't have to worry about stuff like that, right? And this is a prime example. You're going into, these white folks' schools and stuff that they got going on. And it's not even necessarily to say, hey, it was a racist motive or anything like that. It's probably could be multitude of factors that go into this. First of all, they don't come from where she comes from. There's people at these different schools and people running these colleges. They don't come from the same place. So they don't understand people being a product of their environments and the certain behaviors and stuff like that, right? So they're not going to understand that. All they see the shit that goes on around those places. Remember, don't try to spin what I'm about to say, because motherfuckers themselves, except they brag about their cities being the murder capital and people coming from them suburban places and stuff like that, they ain't built like that, or they ain't real because, they were, they had everything coming up and shit, like, different stuff like that. You had your mama and your dad trying to shame people because they had their mama and daddy and all of that, right? So you ain't come from the trenches, right? Well, people understanding that, they see you toting these guns, because I see a lot of these comments comparing them to, other prom pictures and white girls and stuff, like some prom picture with a bunch of white girls carrying guns and stuff like that. Now, I don't advise anybody to be showing their guns, white, black, whatever it is. Should nobody know what you got, shouldn't know your arsenal. You shouldn't be showing your hand. That should just all come out when the time comes, right? Should nobody know. You got, keep that to yourself, right? But it is what it is. I'm not demonizing the young couple or whatnot. Like I said, it looked crazy. They shouldn't be pointing it at no camera. That there's one difference from theirs versus the white folks. White folks one, but like I said, it is what it is. Right to bear arms. Right to bear arms. But all of those don't matter when you're trying to get accepted into somebody's school and they understand that you got the young nigga who's in the video with him, and they see that, all they can compare that with is he got the look of the thug. The young nigga with dreads and all of that, he got the look of the thug. And then on top of that, you coming from these cities where shit, you got hundreds of fucking murders a year and all the crime going on. And so they don't even want to bring that element to their area or even take a chance on you and take a risk. And they sit up there, they won't be about inclusion and then risk bringing you there, and they risk some shit like that happening because you bringing that element to where they at. Can you blame them for that? Can you blame them for that? Life's not fair. The issue is that, see, this is why you got to have people who are like you, come from where you come from, and understand what you got going on. That lane has to be created. The time of, all the begging and asking and stuff like that, yeah, you could make a push, say, try to, pleading with the school or whatever and trying to make the schools understand. Yeah, that's understandable, but they don't have to accept it. They don't have to do nothing. So this is why you create for yourselves. And the conversation is easier said than done, but the conversation has to start, and it has to move toward that. You got all these millionaires, these entertainers and stuff like that. Where are they? Are they going to start creating schools? I'm pretty sure there's a lot who have created charter schools and different stuff like that, but it's got to be more. It's got to be more out here, and it's got to be pushed and promoted. And not only that, it's got to be able to have all the other stuff that the families need. You got to have things like, unless you're going to fund them yourselves, which, no, they don't have the money for. So you'll have to have something like a student loan program. Maybe you can get it cheaper and y'all loaning it yourselves. But that's going to make each party, that's going to make the person who's is being loaned to, it's going to be make them liable for it. A lot of people don't understand when that comes to the whole student loan program. I mean, when you sign up for it, it's something that you signed up for because you put value in it, because it can help you get to where you're going. Now, some of this schooling, especially with the funding that these schools receive from the government, they should be funded because they're using so much of your taxpayer money. But I mean, the government, they do what they do. They do whatever the hell they want to do with your money. And they tell you what you're going to do about it, right? You got to create your own lane. Now, for all the people that are making the comparison back to those white girls and the other pictures and prom pictures and all of that, y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to stop that for the simple fact that those are completely different places. Not only that, I mean, shit's different everywhere. Shit differs from family to family, right? Some families may be cool with that, while others don't condone it at all. So it'll be like that for organizations, for schools, different stuff like that. There's no comparison. You would have to basically, it would have to be somebody from the same area. It would have to be somebody from the same prom, those, the same picture that keeps showing of the white girls, you'd have to show an example of somebody at the prom, a black person who goes to the school and they did the same thing and they didn't get away with it, right? It'd have to make sense like that. It's like a lot of times y'all keep doing this stuff on social media and making these comparisons that don't even fit. It's like saying, it's like if a black, and I know I think they're legalizing stuff down here in Texas, but I forget. But it'd be like a black dude get caught for weed in Texas, but then a white dude walking around and he's smoking in front of it. I'm pretty sure he can't do that, but let's just say that over in Denver, Colorado, he could do that. He could do that in the middle of the street. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. But sit up there and he's smoking in front of the cop. Well, if that's the law, and if you can identify that that's the law, you know what I'm saying, in that particular state that allows them to do that, whereas in Texas, it's not legal. You can't compare the two because there's two different standards that are set. It's two different laws, so you can't do that. It's different in different states. It'd be like that in an organization and anything that you're talking about. So what you would have to do is compare it if it were happening in the same state. Okay? Then that's when you make the comparison. If it's happening in the same state, area, and all, different stuff like that. But sitting up there talking about something that's all the way somewhere else, that school may not care. That school may not care. Wherever college that they're putting in to, that they're trying to apply to, or they want to get a scholarship, if they are going to college, they may not care. There's all type of different factors. Could different things, it could be race. You'd have to be able to prove that. You'd have to be able to prove that on that matter, or it could just be familiarity because they come from that type of place. So whoever the person is who's running that school, the dean or whatever it is, they may come from that type of place. So they understand, they think to them, it could represent, hey, that's what we do. We like to go hunt or some stuff like that, right? That's what that represents. Meanwhile, if they do that and they try to get accepted into a black college that's run by a black person, if we can get that created, right? As I don't even think HBCUs, unless I think they got some, black leadership now, but as far as the actual owners and stuff like that, I'm not too sure. It's something I'd have to look into myself. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section. But if you have a black school and somebody seeing that, they couldn't be, could they really be mad? I could understand them being mad, but they would have to understand why the owner of that black school, why they would look and say, nah, we don't want that because y'all look like some hillbillies. Y'all look like y'all might go start lynching niggas or something, right? It could be entirely not true at all. It's just about perception. That's why perception means something when you're trying to enter other people's establishment or trying to be accepted by them. That's why you create your own lane. However you make that happen, but you have to create your own lane if you want to do what you want to do. Okay? I don't know the boy, I don't know the girl who was in this picture. Not saying they bad people. I don't know what it is. I don't want to judge no books by the covers. They could be good folks. Who knows? They could be some good kids, man. Just like I said, products of their environment. But a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't want to take that risk. And you just gotta respect the person's decision, especially when they're going in their establishment. Like I said, you can make your plea for them to try to get in and different stuff like that, to be accepted, or the school to go ahead and let them graduate, but they don't have to. They don't have to do that. These are the different risks that you take when you sign your child up for these programs, for these for these institutions. There's alternatives out here. What it comes down to is, they're going into these for accreditations and different things like that. A lot of it's down to, being able to take tests. Well, there's a lot of tests you can take without going through schooling and different stuff like that. Now, a lot of these companies are particularly looking for a person who's been through that or whatnot, not just, hey, you took the test and you passed it, because you probably could take it by yourself, get a hold of some books if you happen to do that, especially in the internet age where we have all this access to information. You could probably learn this stuff on your own. That'd be hard as hell, especially getting, led in the right direction, but who's not to say it's possible. It's possible. But a lot of these companies may want to see that, hey, you went through this college course or whatever it is. They got every right to. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You got to start getting people and start having the conversation and start getting people, like I said, where they creating the industry. People that look like you, people that come from where you come from, and we elevating these type of people and not sitting up there trying to, always put focus on, the I don't want to say low lives, but y'all know what I mean. A lot of times, man, the motherfucker coming home from prison, man, get a lot more love than the one who's sitting there graduating, right? So you got to put a lot more focus on them folks and help elevate them and put your resources behind them. Where's the GoFundMe's for them when it's hey, I'm struggling and I'm trying to get through this, to make this happen. Try to get, GoFundMe's and the donations pouring out for that person. Usually a person have to go through some traumatic stuff or something, bad happen for them to even get that. I don't know, just ideas. Not to say it's the complete solution, but like I said, it's moving toward that direction. So, like I said, I hope the young lady, I hope she's able to, hopefully, if this story is even true, I hope she's able to get what she needs and get back, continue on with her path in life. If not, then I hope there's somebody around that can guide her to an alternative, because there's alternatives. It's not, it ain't over. There's alternatives out here, and there's all type of different ways to, make money, be successful out here, without, don't resort to anything that'll have you in trouble, or where you got to take something from another person or anything like that. But, there's all type of, legal alternatives, saying you just got to put in the work. Hopefully there's somebody around her that can help her get that. Like in the case that it does turn out like this, it's just the reality of life. Life is not fair, and it'll never be. It'll never be fair. It's just the way it is. So let me know what you think in the comment section, man. I just wanted to talk about this real quick. And like I said, for everybody, man, I don't care who you are, man. Stop showing your guns online. Stop showing your guns. I know they young, and like I said, they doing all that shit. Man, stop showing your guns online. Stop posting that crap. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shit keep your protection to yourself. Now, whatever was being said in the caption and all of that, because that could play a factor too in optics. I understand defending yourself and talking about, I guess the boyfriend was talking about she keep one of those on her for the females that's trying to jump her or whatever. Or not, well, it didn't say jump, but fight her. If you taking that just for a simple fist fight or something like that, then you out of pocket. Now, if somebody's harassing you and trying to threaten physical harm against your will, and you're in the process of, in retreat, or not even necessarily retreat, you're just you're not trying to fight, or not even giving anything back as far as being confrontational or anything like that, and they're still advancing upon you, then shit, man, I don't blame nobody. I don't blame nobody in that sense. But if you're engaging in the activity, then nah, that shit don't fly. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways that something like this has to be looked at and examined and, just understood. But stop showing your guns online. Stop showing your cars. Nobody should even know that to begin with, in the sense that you're defending yourself, defending your home turf or whatnot. Don't nobody need to know what you got going on. You say that, go ahead, keep a surprise for them, man. But I'm out, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section. That like button, comment below, add on to what I say, or if you have any opposition to what I say, I want to hear it all. I'll holler at y'all later.